On January 24th, 2025, the Walt Disney Company announced that they were evicting the Muppets from their theater in Disney's Hollywood Studios at Walt Disney World. The expectation, as set by Disney themselves, was that Jim Henson's last creation, Muppet Vision 3D, would be preserved in a way that all fans could enjoy the beloved attraction long into the future. But now, we've just been given our first clue as to how the Walt Disney Company will go about actually archiving this fan-favorite attraction, and unfortunately, it leaves much to be desired. Let's talk about Disney sending in a film crew for a cast member only event to record a showing of Muppet Vision 3D, something that vloggers have been doing for years, here on That Park Plays. Now, I believe it's time to switch to an attraction, not one that's opening, but unfortunately one that's closing. Yes. What am I referring to? Well, of course, I'm referring to the Muppets. Now, this story has taken some twists and turns and so forth. Let me go ahead and share my screen. You can see right here, back on January 24, 2025, they said new doors open for Monsters and Muppets at Hollywood Studios. And well, one door is closing, obviously, with the closure of the Muppets Theater and Muppet Vision 3D. You can see that on the screen right here, the concept that they debuted when announcing that the Muppets Theater would be officially closing to make way for a Monsters Inc. themed land. And at the very bottom, after they talked about how it was going into Rock and Roller Coaster and all of that, they said this: as we move forward with these changes, we are having creative conversations and exploring ways to preserve the film and other parts of the experience for fans to enjoy in the future. No doubt there are a lot of new adventures planned for Disney's Hollywood Studios, and we'll continue to share more details. For now, stay tuned to the Disney Parks blog for more Monsters and Muppets updates. Okay, well, we didn't actually learn new stuff on Disney Parks blog. We actually learned it from, well, other people who do some excellent reporting online. This via Scott Gustin. Disney confirms they will digitally capture Muppet Vision. Disney confirms that they will digitally capture Muppet Vision 3D during a cast-only filming event later this month. While no preservation plans are confirmed yet, the footage will ensure the attraction is documented for any potential future use. Yes, they are doing what they did basically with Rise of Resistance over there at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, and are just basically providing maybe a POV. Who knows? Ron, your initial thoughts on all of this?
This is a simple solution for Disney. Very simple solution. They're putting Muppets into Rock and Roller Coaster. Right behind Rock and Roller Coaster is a theater where temporarily a villains show is going, but they've never really had anything permanent back there. They had Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy back there was the last thing. Now this villain show is going back there. There's the perfect space. All you would have to do, and probably have to tear the building down that's there, and you rebuild this Muppets Theater and just relocate the darn thing. Then have a new Muppets courtyard where Rock and Roller Coaster is. It is the simplest solution, but it will cost Disney money to do that. And God forbid they should spend money on their domestic parks when they can just go overseas and have somebody foot the bill. It's a slap in the face to Walt Disney. It's a slap in the face to Jim Henson, which this is the last thing he ever created while he was alive. And, they're going to have I know what they're going to do because I've been a part of events like this. They're going to have cast members come in, fill that theater. You're part of a cast member, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And of course, they're going to go wild for it. And then they'll throw it up on Disney Plus and say it's a special. And it won't be anything like the real experiences in real life. When you go there, as somebody who grew up in the 1980s, especially, you're like, I'm in the Muppet Show. It's very, very cool experience, but Disney doesn't want that.
Yeah, Disney doesn't want that. They don't want to maintain that. You could argue that they don't need to be closing this at all, and so people were excited about the prospect of at least having this retained in some way, perhaps even moving it, but unfortunately that's not going to be happening, or at least they haven't announced that yet. Now we have an excellent article provided by Marvin Muttendare on That Park Plays. Disney's so-called Muppet Vision 3D preservation is just a PR stunt before demolishing Jim Henson's final work. Disney has begun filming Muppet Vision 3D at Disney's Hollywood Studios ahead of the attraction's scheduled closure on June 7, 2025. Internally describing as a, quote, filming event archiving Muppet Vision 3D, the effort is being framed as a preservation project to honor the final attraction ever overseen by Jim Henson. Based on what we've learned, this isn't a tribute, it's a farewell brush-off. According to posts from Disney Live Entertainment cast members, the event will take place in mid-May and will include registered cast members serving as the in-theater experience. our in-theater audience. The working title of this effort strongly suggests that Disney is capturing the show for internal archival purposes, but it's unclear whether the footage will ever be released to the public. Here's the problem. Disney isn't actually preserving anything meaningful. Muppet Vision 3D already exists in full online, with dozens of high-quality fan recordings available across platforms like YouTube. Some videos even include the pre-show and in-theater effects. If the company was truly one to honor Jim Henson's legacy, they would preserve the entire experience, not just film a single performance before the bulldozers actually move in. And I think that's absolutely spot on by Marvin here. I mean, there were plenty of ways to archive this experience, you know, and the experience is far more than the film itself, right? You have actual cast members actually roam about in certain instances in this production right here, dressed as Muppets characters. You have multiple audio animatronic performers in both in front of you, on the various balconies, and behind you. Actually, you have so much that goes into this production, and especially like the pre-show. The pre-show is one of the best that Disney's ever done, as has been beautifully archived here, actually, on That Park Place by maybe Marvin himself gathering some footage. I don't know, but the pre-show experience is absolutely wonderful, and I think they may have updated it just once. Marvin might know the specific details related to that. Oh, got some gimbal problems right there, as you can see right there. But just absolutely fantastic, this pre-show area right here. This should be, meaningfully archived rather than just, I don't know, recorded for maybe a POV to end up on some streaming service in the future, if we even get that at all. And that's going to be the most unfortunate part about all of this, because we have no idea where this footage is actually going. You know, they have a master negative, I'm sure, that they can actually use to duplicate the footage or the original film and projection that actually plays if it wears out. Why not archive that? Why not have that available in some meaningful way that fans can access? They're not saying they're going to do any of that. Jonas, your thoughts?
Oh my goodness! And you're playing the footage while we're watching this. They shouldn't get rid of Muppet Vision 3D. Getting rid of Muppet Vision 3D is the dumbest decision that they've made as far as Monsters Inc. land. Again, I rant on this every single time, so forgive me. I'm going to say it again. They don't need an immersive Monsters Inc. theme park land. They need a Monsters Inc. ride down the street from Muppet Vision 3D. There's no reason for them to get rid of this classic attraction. The thing that's going into this space is a Monsters Inc. Show TBD, which says to me that they don't even really know what they're going to be putting in that space. They're going to come up with something to put in that space. There's no reason that you can't hand wave it and say, oh, well, the Muppets are visiting Monstropolis or something like that. There is really no good reason for them to give up on an entire IP within the parks, which they can market. They can, if they are the storytellers that they say that they are, which, by the way, they're not. But if they're saying that they're the storytellers that can market something like this, then I wish you would go ahead and do it, Disney, instead of this lackluster decimation, arson on Jim Henson's legacy. It just frustrates me to no end.
And
it frustrates
it's likely,
me to no end.
I would think it's likely that the Disney will probably opt for the cheapest option, which is simply move Laugh Floor into that theater.
Yeah. And then use that space for, I don't know, Lilo and Stitch, which, by the way, there's nothing for Lilo and Stitch. I didn't bring up Rock and Roller Coaster, which is now up on the screen. I'm not even considering this ride in this at this point, and I see no reason to. But go ahead.
A lot of people aren't. That's the thing. A lot of people aren't considering this ride because, well, I mean, Disney hasn't really shown anything to get fans excited about just this, other than this single announcement that you're seeing on screen right here. There's no reason, as you can see right here on your screen, folks, there's no reason why Muppet Vision 3D can't be preserved within this Monsters Incorporated land. There's no reason. The theater is still standing, and there's no reason really to close this attraction at this point. You can see right here that the coaster on the far end of this concept art is, well, on the far end of this area. It's going to be 3 years until they actually get that open at the very least. Why close this now? There's just no reason for any of this. And, well, as predicted, the archival efforts are, well, they have left fans wanting far more. and that's unfortunate.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.